Welcome back to another Black Clover mobile video. Right, so I've been getting asked how to link your account and are there any preferences for settings. Now, the game is pre-configured with certain settings. The most annoying setting, in my opinion, is actually the power saving mode. I think is when you're like AFK for a while, then it basically goes to like a lock screen where you have to slide a bar to the right. Kind of annoying. So we're gonna deactivate it. I'm gonna show you exactly how to get to your settings and which settings are the best. Now, I've made screenshots of every single settings page and use a translator where I can show you that in this video so you know exactly what is what and what means what, and yeah, in case you don't know Japanese, obviously. Right, so first up, you're gonna click up there on the top right hand corner on that free leaf Clover. Then there is the settings button with the little wheel, right? And that's your settings basically. That's how it looks when you enter your settings. Now, again, as I've said, I made screenshots, so I'm gonna jump over to the screenshots now. Right, so this is the first one basically. The first one is all about the in-game options, right? So you have this first one, decisive G and Hamade. I don't know if I'm interpreting this right, but this is basically when you're playing the game, this is basically when a special move is being made. So you can actually leave it at full. Standard is full. I kept it as short. You can also auto skip it if you're annoyed with it. It's personal preference. I like to see it from time to time, so I'm keeping it all short. That's what I would suggest as well. Gacha production skip, that's basically when you're summoning, when you're doing multi-summons and stuff. That is basically automatically skip the summoning animation. Now, I have it as off. I think standard it is on off as well, and I'm gonna keep it on off because sometimes I do actually want to see I want to feel the hype, you know, like when you're summoning. That's one of the things. Right, then screen touch effect, that's basically set on. That's when you touch the screen in game, it just, you know, these little bright shining flares pop up, which is, it's just a little gimmick. I mean, you could leave it on, you could switch it off. I mean, whatever. Vibration settings, I have them turned off. And yeah, it actually, if you're playing on your phone, it preserves a lot more of your battery, which is why I would personally advise to turn it off unless you want to have a vibrating thing in your hand, right? Okay, that's the first part. That's the general game options. Now let's head over to sound options. So, sound options, these are all of them. I actually kept everything as it is. I only turned completely down the background music because, yeah, I hate in-game music as it is. So, yeah, it's personal preference. I mean, you could also turn the entire sound off and play it completely mute. Up to you. I usually just turn off the background music because it gets annoying over time. You know, like when you're grinding a game and you have some stupid music in the background. Pretty much annoying, right? That's why I deactivated that, and yeah, that's basically all of that. Again, you have cinematic sounds, which are like when you're during a battle, the attacks and the special move animations. Then you have combat sounds when you like the character hits another character, and the hit activation sound. That's basically that. Fruit sound, I'm not really sure what's meant by that, but yeah, and voice, that's basically the voice of the characters. Right, next up, graphic. Now here the translator kind of messes up. However, it's pretty easy to understand. So the first one is resolution. I have it at 90%. 100% works as well, but it drains the battery even more. Weird how only 10% difference makes such a huge difference. But you could also leave it at 70%, especially if your game is lagging. I mean, you probably be playing through a VPN, and it is probably best to maybe even keep the resolution low because it may help reduce lagging of the game if your game is lagging, right? Same thing for the frame rate. I would keep it at 30 My phone can do 60, but yet again, it takes too much battery. So I'm gonna keep it at 30, right? And that's the one I'm suggesting to you guys as well. Right, then you have simple advanced graphic settings. That's the next part. Simple settings. I kept it as it is. I don't really know what that is. I'm not going to be playing around too much with the graphic settings because I'm happy the way they are. However, you can activate or deactivate the advanced settings. I have them activated and have a few things already chosen. I would personally leave it the way it is, as it's um, the basic settings, basically the way they are pre-configured. However, you can choose to tick the last box of each, which is basically the highest resolution possible for each of these advanced settings points. But yet again, you gotta remember, if you do that and you're playing on a phone, it may have a negative effect on the performance of the game, right? The game may become laggy. It may be using even more battery than it used to. So yeah, bear in mind when changing these settings around. And here again is another screenshot with the last part at the bottom. I would also advise to turn the outline green off. That's just really, really unnecessary, and yeah, it drains the battery even more. Standard, it's on. I kept it now as off. The bottom one is the one I was looking for and was gonna show you guys, the power saving mode. At standard, it's set at 3 minutes. I mean, like after 3 minutes AFK time, you gotta slide that bar to the right to actually continue playing, which is annoying, right? So I turn it off completely. I mean, you could also leave it at 10 minutes or half an hour, it's personal preference, but turning it off completely, I think, doesn't harm. Then there are language settings, but I'm not gonna go into that because there's only two languages available. You only have Japanese and Korean, so yeah, whatever. Next up is the notification settings. I would generally keep all of them on, and I would also allow the app basically to send notifications because yeah, why not? I mean, you get notified if your salary maximum reaches the maximum. That's basically when you're in the secret hideout of your squad, where you can collect your salary. Basically, the items which you use to level up characters, that's basically that. Or when your stamina recovers or your story ticket recovers, stuff like that. So I would generally keep stuff like that on because, yeah, it basically helps you keep track of what's going on in the game at any given moment, right? And last but not least, the account settings. And here is the option which some of you may be looking for, which is how to link your account. It's right at the bottom. Account linkage. You can basically use any account and link it to your game, and that's basically it. I'm linked via Google. That's the way I usually link my games. But yeah, here you can also see your nickname, AID, your nickname and your AID. You can copy them and share them with friends and stuff. And yeah, the first one, Possession of Black Crystal, I'm not really sure what that's about. But if any one of you guys knows it, then put it down in the comments. Then you have your user guide, your inquiry, privacy policy, terms of use, and so forth. Those are just general informations which are set in there. And right at the bottom, you have two more informations. You have one, takeover data. That's basically data migration and immigration. And the last one is delete account. So whenever you're wanting to delete your account, that's the way you're going to be doing it. After you do that, there is no way to recover your account again, right? So bear that in mind if you ever choose to do that. And yeah, that's it. That's all the settings the game has to offer. Do play around with your personal preferences and see which ones you would choose. Again, the settings I've shown just now are the ones I would prefer and recommend to set the same. However, again, it always depends on your device. Again, if you're ever experiencing lagginess during the game, again, it could be either your internet connection or stuff like that. Maybe you're playing through a VPN, or it's because of those settings. Then I would really suggest if you go to the graphics settings and turn everything to the lowest possible and then play again, it should be much better. I hope this video was helpful. Again, thanks for watching, and until next time.